Hello friends, welcome to the 6th of January, day 6 of a poem a day for 2026, all of the sixes. I hope that today has treated you well and you're being able to keep yourselves warm. It has warmed up slightly here because we've had some rain which has melted away all the snow. I'm quite thankful for that. I always worry about slipping over in the snow and ice. But I also like the rain. I'm one of those weird people, or maybe I was a duck in a former life. So yeah, I can see in some movement in the back of the camera. That's Cass having a wash on the bed, which means he's probably gearing up to come and pester me for some dinner. So we might as well crack on with today's poem. Just going to reach for the big red book. Beautiful tome. Let's see. Okay, so this evening we have quite a lengthy poem, good few pages. This is The Three Kings by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. And the blurb reads as follows. After Twelfth Night comes Epiphany itself, celebrated on 6th of January as the date, 12 days after Christmas, when the three kings followed a star to Bethlehem to meet the baby Christ. Longfellow's poem tells of the journey of the three magi, Melchior, Gaspar, and Balthazar. So, settle in, friends. Make yourselves comfortable. This is The Three Kings. Three kings came riding from far away, Melchior and Gaspar and Balthazar. Three wise men out of the east were they, and they travelled by night and they slept by day, for their guide was a beautiful, wonderful star. The star was so beautiful, large and clear, that all the other stars of the sky became a white mist in the atmosphere. And by this they knew that the coming was near of the prince foretold in the prophecy. 3 caskets they bore on their saddled bows, 3 caskets of gold with golden keys. Their robes were crimson silk with rose, of bells and pomegranates and furbelows, their turbans like blossoming almond trees. And so the kings rode into the west, through the dusk of the night, over hills and dells, and sometimes they nodded with beard on breast, and sometimes talked as they paused to rest, with the people they met at the wayside wells. Of the child that is born, said Balthazar, good people, I pray you, tell us the news, for we in the east have seen his star, and have ridden fast, and have ridden far, to find and worship the King of the Jews. And the people answered, you ask in vain, we know of no king but Herod the Great. They thought the wise men were men insane, as they spurred their horses across the plain, like riders in haste who cannot wait. And when they came to Jerusalem, Herod the Great, who had heard this thing, sent for the wise men and questioned them, and said, go down unto Bethlehem, and bring me tidings of this new king. So they rode away, and the star still stood, the only one in the grey of morn. Yes, it stopped, it stood still of its own free will, right over Bethlehem, on the hill, the city of David, where Christ was born. And the three kings rode through the gate and the guard, through the silent street, till their horses turned, and neighed as they entered the great inn-yard. But the windows were closed and the doors were barred, and only a light in the stable burned. And cradled therein the scented hay, in the air made sweet by the breath of kine, the little child in the manger lay, the child that would be king one day, of a kingdom not human but divine. His mother, Mary of Nazareth, sat watching beside his place of rest, watching the even flow of his breath, for the joy of life and the terror of death were mingled together in her breast. They laid their offerings at his feet. The gold was their tribute to a king. The frankincense, with its odour sweet, was for the priest, the parcelet, the myrrh for the body's burying. And the mother wondered and bowed her head, and sat as still as a statue of stone. Her heart was troubled, yet comforted, remembering what the angel had said of an endless reign and of David's throne. Then the kings rode out of the city gate, with a clatter of hoofs in proud array. But they went not back to Herod the Great, for they knew his malice and feared his hate, and returned to their homes by another way. Quite beautiful, I think. I personally am not a person of faith. I have, however, a lot of people in my life who do follow a religion or a faith. Just this morning on my way into work, I had a wonderful conversation with my taxi driver. I asked him if he had celebrated any holidays, if he'd had any time off recently, and he said to me that he hadn't celebrated anything in the past few weeks, but he was very excited as he had Ramadan coming up. And he took me through and he told me some bits about that, and about how he was looking forward to gifting things to the children in his life, and coming together to share food with his family and his friends, and visiting upon the people in his community. And I think it was a truly wonderful start to my day, because he was clearly so happy, and it was beautiful to see this man just going about his business, doing his work, and to see how much joy his faith brought him. And I wish that we could all be see that joy in people and just think, that's nice. Not to get too in-depth in things, but that his joy brought me joy. I think that's what I'm trying to say. So, and that's probably a nice opportunity to say that whoever you are, whatever you follow, however you identify, you are welcome here. This is a safe space, and I hope that you're enjoying the poetry so far. I'm aware that we've been maintaining around a 7:30 post time the last few evenings, and I know that this will be a little bit later this evening. I made the very grave mistake when I got home from the office today of sitting down when I got home, and my other cat Meg came and laid with me I say laid with me. I was sat on the bed, and she came and laid up against my leg and just fell asleep. And it was just a nice moment, and I couldn't pull myself away. But I'm here, and I'm going to post this as soon as it's ready. So, another wonderful piece of poetry this evening, and I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope you'll be back tomorrow for our 7th piece of poetry, and that sees us halfway through the week. So, yeah, I think we're doing okay. Have a lovely evening, friends, and please look after yourselves and those around you.